Hi ladies, it's Karen, and I have another altered canvas to share with you. And for this one, I used the Sunrise Sunset paper by Prima. It looks like this. I showed it in one of my last videos. Really gorgeous papers and light images of lace and doilies and stuff. So that's the paper I used. And what I did was create another canvas so that it could hang with this. This is the first canvas that I created. And this picture was taken in like a sequence of photos. So the canvas that I did yesterday is similar to this one. I wanted it to be similar to this one because I'm going to hang them up, you know, together on my wall. So this is the one that I completed yesterday, and I think that it's a good. See, if you look at them together, I think you could see that they're sort of mirror images of each other, and see, I tried to keep along the same type layout, but to do different twists. So let me share with you what I did. Let me put the camera, or make it so that, there. So the first thing I did with this, and I'm going to show you, is I decided which paper I was going to use. And it's a sheet that looks like this. It has some, you know, greenish, goldish tones on it, and it has images of lace on there. If you could even see that, I don't know. But anyway, this was the base of the paper that I wanted to use. And I wanted to try something different, so I first covered the canvas in this lace that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby. It's really soft, and it has a really pretty design to it. Really sweet lace, and it's an off-white color, if you could tell. And so that's what I did. So I wanted to add this lace. You know, I cut it to size, and I wanted to use this as my first layer. But first I laid out my canvas first so that I knew what I was going to do. And this, let's see if you could see this. So this is my canvas before I even prepared it. And see, the lace is underneath there. And I laid the paper, and I distressed the paper. Whoops, I distressed the paper with some Tim Holtz old paper distress ink. And I used music sheets, vintage music sheets, and book pages also to accent. And I did a little tearing effect there. So I laid it out like this because I knew this is what I wanted to create with, you know, on top of. But before that, so after I had that figured out, I wanted to prepare my canvas because I never know if I'm going to end up covering it fully or not. So I used my gelatos because, you know, I wasn't sure if there was going to be, you know, color shining through. So these are the colors because I wanted to take out these like peachy tones and the green tones here. Whoops, sorry. And so I wanted to accent those colors and use a little bit of gold there. So those are the colors that I went with. So I used this color, and it's called pistachio, this gelato. I used this, it's like a buttery yellow. I used this, it's like a darker gold color, it's called butterscotch. And I used a lot of this metallic gold, and just a bit of this salmon and orangey color to try to make a peach. So the result of that was this. So that was the color of my canvas, how I prepared it. And I painted the edges, you know, the sides, just like I did the other one with acrylic paint. The Buttermilk by Americana, really, you know, soft type butter color. So after I prepared it, I went around the edges with the acrylic paint. Then I laid down, then I laid down my lace on top of, you know, the colored canvas. And then I used some sprays. I used some Olive Vine by Tattered Angels, and I used some more of this Gold by Heidi Swapp, which is really quite sweet. And let those dry. I adhered the lace with the collage, what's it called? Collage Page. Anyway, this instant decoupage, and I found this at Joann's, and I know it says it's just for paper and stuff like that, but it worked really well for this light lace. But then to put the paper on top of the lace, that wouldn't work, so I had to use my regular Mod Podge to adhere the paper to the lace, if that makes any sense. So then after you know that, preparing the canvas and laying out my paper with the book pages and, you know, the music paper, and see, I layered so much you can't really see, but some of it, but it's all in there. After that, I knew I wanted to go with a similar design as the other one, but I wanted to use different types of trims. So to frame out the photo, I took this wide lace that I had gotten at Joann's, and I just, you know, it was real long and everything, and I just kind of, I guess it's the same way y'all make flowers, you know, I just overlapped it till it's in a circle and just glued it as I went along. And that's how I got this all the way around. You could see. And then to add a little bit more earth tone, I used this doily here. It's like a crochet doily that Elizabeth, she's Beady Bomb Bomb, had given me in our last swap. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. So I cut it diagonally, and I used them sort of as corners here. And I layered over this one so you can't really see it. And then it seemed too dark to me, so I took this other piece of a doily from the Paper Bag Lady, and I laid that there. Then, and this is before the picture or anything else was on. And then it just seemed, well, here comes shadow. Then it just seemed like it was just too dark, like it was going to be too dark. So, excuse me. So I used this lace, and it's the same as the one in the other canvas, except it's white. And I just went along, you know, for the side, and I did it in so that it was just a layer with this lace. You see, it just kind of layered with that one like that. So I did that. And then I, like I said, I wanted to use the same type layout, so I took different types of trims. I took the eyelet, this pretty eyelet trim, and this one from Hobby Lobby, and this peach one is from Melissa Francis, and this other eyelet one, I believe, is also from Hobby Lobby. Let's see. And this really pretty crochet type delicate one, Joanne had sent me in a swap, and then I used this darker, I believe it's a Prima lace, on top. So I layered those, and then I put this one in afterwards, and just to kind of finish it off, to give it an interesting edge. I folded some book paper underneath, you know, in where I tore this back so that it looks like it's coming out of the, you know, out of the canvas like that. What else? And then oh, for heaven's sakes, look at her. Shadow. I know, I'm in your way, right? I'm sorry, baby doll. Get down. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I feel bad when I have to do that. Yeah, so that I took my photo, and there was too much dark space, same as in the other canvas, so I just, you know, tore a little piece out so that I could add a little flower here, because that's a large empty space there. So that was to break it up. And there was so much, you know, fabric and doilies here, so I took 2 pieces of chipboard and adhered them together, then adhered my photo on top of that, and then adhered the photo. You could see that it's dimensional there. Whoops, can you? And so then I added my photo and you know, those laces, and then I used some burlap here. There's some burlap tucked over here also, and then I just started layering some flowers. And this flower that I wanted to be like the focal point flower is actually one that Lydia had made for me. And what it is like layers of lace with, you know, that tissue paper from pattern paper, and then a little piece of fabric on top. So I kind of fluffed it up. I used some stickles, and then it had a button center, and I just placed this this button embellishment that Elizabeth had also given me. It's from Recollections, and it came in this set here. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. And I just adhered that to the button, and that made this flower much more full and really, really pretty. So thank you so much, Lydia. And then this is a Recollections flower. This is a Wild Orchid Crafts flower. This I Am Roses. This is another one from that collection that Elizabeth gave me. I Am Roses. This brown one, because I also have a brown one in the other canvas to bring in some of the darker colors, is for Recollections. This is another Recollections. This right here is a Prima crocheted flower, and the little pearl came out, and I decided not to put anything else in the middle there. And then I used these peach, these peach, same as I did with the other canvas. I used some of these little peach flowers as fillers, that I put one here in that little niche like I did with the other one, and here, and I tucked one here. I also used, there's one there. I also used this, it's like a ceramic, what do you call those, a lily? And that's from Michael's. It comes with the leaf there. And there's another one tucked in here. The resin cherub is a resin that Lydia had given me. She had made it with her mold, so thank you so much, Lydia. That and also the clock here, Lydia created and gave to me. Underneath here is a little bit of metal, if you could see that. It's actually this piece, and I had gotten this in like a doodad bag at one time or another, and I just snipped a corner of it just so that I had a little bit of metal poking through, and I adhered that, I believe, with E6000. I also decided to add this gold gear that was also in my doodad jar, and so I added that there. Then this resin piece here is actually one of the Shabby Chic treasures from Prima. Now the you know, how I used the little bridge in the other one, and it came with this, in that same set as the bridge, it came with this bench. But because of the way the photo is oriented, I couldn't use this bench because it was facing the wrong way. You see, it would have looked silly. One of the keys to scrapbooking is, you know, if you have objects that face one way or another, they should always be facing into the layout. So this piece would have to be used on the left, you know. So I had to find a different piece, so I used my candelabra one, and I used the little gold bling on top of the candles as like, you know, fire, I guess, you know. And I added these flowers from my stash along the base of it. I did go over this with gold rub and buff, but then I painted over it with gesso. Oh, I also used the Mini Granny template by TCW, or Granny's Doily. The same as I did on the other one, and I did it in this top corner and in this bottom corner, although I layered over it. You could see some of the paper. Oops, I'm losing light. You could see some of the Prima paper, you know, poking through here and here. On this one you could see the paper more than on the other one that I did. What else? I used these little I Am Roses, or actually these are the little Recollection rosebuds that I've had for a very long time. I used those. What else? Oh, this here, Happy in Love, is from the tissue, or from the washi tape that is to the Sunrise Sunset collection, and I just used that section there. And I went over everything with gesso to give it a nice washed look, and then I went over a lot of it with stickles. And then these pearls, which I absolutely love, are some of the ones that Louisa had given me. They're such a great size, you know. So I tucked those underneath the flower there so that they would hang as well. So I think it came out really sweet. I think it's a good match to the other one. So, you know, I can hang them both up on the wall together. And then I added little, like I did with the other one, little pieces of gold bling there. You know, just enough for, you know, a little shimmer or light to shine through, you know. There's a gold bling there. You know, just a little bit to catch the light, I should say, you know. This is some Prima lace that I kind of, you know, bannered along there the same way that I did the other one. So I really liked the texture of the lace on the canvas. I thought it came out really cool. Yeah, so, and then, you know, I sprayed the resin piece with some of the Heidi Swapp gold spray and then stickled it. What else? I stuck a little heart bling here that was also from Elizabeth. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the goodies. Yeah, so I think it makes a good match to the other one, and I'm going to put them side by side. And I'm actually going to hang them one above the other, I think is how I'm going to put them on my wall as soon as I find a spot. But I'll show you them together so you can see that, you know, they make a good match. I also used the basic gray rub-ons here and up here, the same as I did over here. Yeah, there are a lot of similarities. I used a darker flower here, the same as I did there, just, you know, different. This is a Prima shabby flower, and I wanted to find, I only had one like this, but I wanted to find another shabby flower. And I went with the one that Lydia created because I think it's adorable. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with them, and Joe liked this one as well. So there you go. Those it's my latest altered canvas. So if you have any questions about how I created it, or any technique or anything I used to create the canvas, leave a comment below, and I'll make sure to answer you. So thanks so much for watching, ladies. I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.